Hello viewers, I am SB and this is Valfaris. This game is like, what if somebody made an entire Contra game out of heavy metal album covers? I think that's roughly the concept they're going for, and they execute on it really well, actually. This is, in my opinion, one of the coolest games of 2019. So we are this little extremely metal space man. We have ourselves a great big fire sword and a couple of other weapons, like a massive mega shotgun and this wolf light, which is a flamethrower, but instead of a beam of flame, it shoots a beam of homing wolf spirits that will sometimes escape the beam and hunt down enemies beyond it. And this game is just like, it is so much the thing it is doing. Oh, Hell Cobra. Okay, hold on. I don't really have a good long-range weapon right now. And then I immediately fall in the acid. You know what? Maybe we should change our loadout up. I don't actually have a weapon that's good for finding at range equipped here. Let's swap out our Hell Hammer for the Hell Wraith. Of course, obviously you would want to use the Hell Wraith, which seems to be, it's a minigun of some kind. It seems to be constantly bleeding. So, yeah, that's pretty metal, I guess. Alright, we're going to start by hitting this guy with my sword, and then he's going to shoot fire at me, and we're going to... There we go, ranged attacks. So you can see our, the weapon in our, like, super weapon slot consumes that blue meter in the upper left when it's fired. And we get blue meter back by hitting enemies with melee attacks. So there's not, like, a ton of complicated mechanics in this game. It tends to be the case in this genre, right? But it's got a little bit of, like, risk-reward stuff we'll be able to talk about in a little bit more detail when we're not fighting a boss. And I should say, bosses in this game are, like, very frequent. It seems like I am constantly fighting some kind of huge creature that is shooting missiles or flames or other enemies at me. I really like the hands coming up out of the flame effect on the ground. This is a bad idea. Okay, everything's fine. Come here, you. Now I am the Hell Cobra. You can see in the upper right, our idle capacity just increased. That's, I think, one of the coolest mechanics in the game. Ooh, hold on, new toy. Right? Right? It's just this thing. It's just doing this thing as hard as it possibly can. The Envoy of Destruction. A rapid barrage of missiles, heavy damage but high energy consumption. Sounds cool to me. Okay, that is a pretty rapid barrage of missiles. So, there are these things in the world, these green things, called resurrection idols. Sometimes we'll find a stand like this that we can put a resurrection idol into, and if we do that, it becomes our new checkpoint. If I die, I'll respawn here. But we could just leave it, and every resurrection idol we're carrying in our inventory, which you can see in the upper right there, increases our max HP and max energy. So there's a cool kind of like push your luck system going on here, where you can make the game... You can make the game harder in the way that you want it to be harder. It can be a thing where you're dying constantly with frequent checkpointing, or it can be, blood metal. Hold on, we should go back and upgrade. Or it can be a thing where you are just trying to, you as a super powerful version of the character are trying to make these long runs from place to place. I think they're doing just a tremendous amount of really cool stuff. So that blood metal we just picked up is an upgrade currency. Let's upgrade our envoy here. And if it increased power. The two sweetest words in the English language. Alright, let's go fight some enemies. Maybe some non-boss enemies. What are we doing? No lava. Okay. Oh, hold on. Well, fight some enemies when there's not so much lava chasing me. This is the second world of the game. The first world is a very, like, standard industrial heavy metal landscape. Okay, that rocket launcher does some pretty decent damage. Oh god, these things are gonna latch onto me and try to make me not able to jump. Oh, I should not have gone for the resurrection idol. I am now regretting it. Okay, so you can see they like latch onto you and siphon your health and make your movement really slow. Be a really bad thing right now. Just gonna ignore that guy. Yeah, I damage boosted. It was a speedrun strat. There's light coming from up there. That must be the way out. Proceed with caution. Proximity scans show a large life form nearby, possibly arthropod in origin. A bug hunt? No problem. That guy's probably a little bit more Duke Nukem than I'm doing. This seems like a place where maybe we do want to insert an idol. So, how do I... What do I do? Okay, I thought these plants were a background element. Okay, climb up the plants. What have we here? The Bloodstalker Queen. Yep, of course, that makes sense. So I'm a big fan of the flamethrower. It does a lot of damage really quickly, it feels like, but this is probably another one of those long-range weapon kind of situations. Okay, also, projectiles are hard to dodge. The missiles have a little bit of homing on them, which is nice. Ow. Okay, we're learning. Listen, it's the first time we've seen the boss. There are going to be some mistakes. You're going to get hit by some stuff. Apparently, you can just jump over that volley. If she comes down here, we can get more missiles. We can just melee her face. Don't get hit by the... Never mind. I had a plan, and my plan was to not get hit by the thing, and then I did not execute on the plan. The thing is, the best laid plans of mice and men often are ruined by Bloodstalker Queens. I've never really understood that aphorism until this moment. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure that the rocket launcher is doing better damage. I like better sustained DPS than the flamethrower was doing. I mean, I guess it's hard to get the flamethrower on the enemies. Not. There we go. Look at me not getting hit by the falling projectiles. Come here. Yeah, I think the flamethrower might just be the weapon. Sorry, the spirit thrower. Also, she does not like getting crossed up. Oh, I can also I can kill the falling projectiles with the flamethrower. That's a much easier way of not getting hit. Oh, this happened. Well, now you're on fire. Okay, that seems bad. We probably don't want to get hit by those. So these enemies that are jumping up here are very low in health, but they do that like Sonic the Hedgehog spin that you just saw. I do love games that have friendly fire for the enemies. That Sonic the Hedgehog spin can be kind of a problem. So yeah, you can see, we're just sort of like tearing through this. Now I am your master insect. I don't think the game's particularly hard, but it's executing the thing it's doing with such vigor and fervor. It's hard not to admire it, right? Found Vral's sidearm, a constant stream of long-range bullets. That is a pistol, so it's going to replace our wolf light. You know what? I really like the wolf light. Maybe we should try the new thing. Insert resurrection idol to gain blood metal. How much blood metal do I have? I guess there's not actually a thing around here. You know what? I'm going to keep my max health. Are we going to have like a shooter stage here? Oh, no, we are not. An infestation of alien life forms has made a vast nest around the Citadel's heat exchangers. There's no other route. You must pass through the hive. A plague wrought by my father's hand, no doubt. The indignities heaped upon my homeworld will be paid for in kind with blood. Yeah, it's just that thing, all the time. The spaceship that he flies around at the beginning of the game is like it's a big metal wolf covered in blood, and I feel like the first 30... Ow, okay, that's that's not a background element. That is a real thing I have to knock over. Ow. Okay, so this is a little bit more like what the game is usually like. It's not always just boss rush mode. I am doing terribly all of a sudden. As opposed to earlier when I was doing so well. Probably be a good time for some missiles. Take advantage of the range. So you can see there, when you fall more than like a couple of character heights, you hit the ground with this like resounding thud. I think that's just one of the little touches that makes you feel so powerful. Oh, I fell right into that guy's slavering maw. It's a good touch to just like make your character feel like a big, weighty, powerful thing. I don't know exactly how long this game is. I don't want to show off too much of it, but let's go a little bit further. I'm enjoying how varied the environments have been so far. Ow. How dare you. I do have a shield, by the way, that I could be using here if I wanted to, survive. The shield does not usually just bounce enemy projectiles. That's a thing that is specific to these enemies, I think. But if you time a shield pop perfectly so that the shield goes up right as the enemy projectile hits you, you catch the enemy's projectile and can throw it back at them. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and idle here because I'm doing a real bad job. When you put in an idle, you get restored to full health. And as far as I've seen, there's always at least one idle between checkpoints, so you can use every checkpoint if you want to. If you explore a little bit, you can sometimes find secret rooms that have additional idols or more blood metal in them. This membrane is the entrance to the hive interior. How do I open it? The membrane reacts to the pheromones of high-ranking hive residents. Attract and kill a hive soldier, then drench yourself in its blood. Sounds disgusting. Yes, I imagine the experience will be nauseating. Okay. Is this my guy? No, that is not a high-level guy. Okay, we're going to have to earn the attention of a high enough level hive soldier. I appreciate the little bit of homing on the missiles, but I do wish that they maybe had a slightly better turning radius. Yeah, that's about what that guy should look like, I guess. Why am I just running right up on him? Hold on, I have ranged weapons. Why do I not use the ranged weapons? That seems bad. Okay. Easy. You know what? Let's go ahead and idle here. I could use the health. But like every time one of those comes up, you know, you have the option. You could just say, I'm gonna just try to push forward, and maybe we're gonna die. And if we die, I'll just oh, see, this is one of those secret rooms apparently that I was talking about. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of thought it was the way forward, but hey, extra stuff. I guess that was just health. Usually, when you see a big pile of things like that, a big pile of glowing skulls, and you break it open, there's blood metal inside of it. Definitely a situation where the wolf mice could be helping us. You can see the wolf spirits breaking out and hunting down the enemies. Shame they don't do a little bit more damage. I think this surface is climbable, yeah. But yeah, at this point I think, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Oh god, oh god. I live, everything's fine. Yeah, I think you get the idea. Let's play until we meet one more boss. That was... I just hesitated. I completely froze up. I saw the enemy and I was like, oh god, what do I do? Did you know there are monsters in this game? Ow. Am I allowed to go up here and get the health on every life? Because if so, then obviously we need to do that. Okay, it's not always health. Sometimes it's a blue thing. Oh, no, hold on. You do have to come up here because this thing that I broke wasn't just a thing I broke for fun. It's actually necessary to move forward. So yeah, that's not a secret room at all. I was right. It is a thing you have to do. You know, when you get into the habit of breaking stuff just because it's fun, it becomes harder to notice when you needed to break a thing. Ow. Gotta remember the shield. Yeah, I gotta remember to shield. Apparently, I didn't hear myself say that. Alright, it's okay. This is gonna be the one. I appreciate, like, there are limitations on your use of, like, the super weapons, but it's easy enough to get more juice for them because of how powerful your melee is. I think the game's got a really good balance of the concerns that it's going for. It turns out sometimes the correct solution is to not just hold forward at all times. A little bit of finesse, which is not really what I think of when I think of a guy that looks like this. It's the wrong gun. There we go. We're just going to be like very cautious here. You know, cautious. Again, maybe not really what you think of when you think of a guy that looks like this. Do we want to? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and be a little bit aggressive with the checkpointing. Hold on a second. I mean, this certainly looks like a thing, right? Maybe this was the way forward? There have so far not really been any, like, branching paths that I've noticed. I think if this is a secret room, yeah, it should be a pretty short path. I'm all about extra resurrection items. I'm fine with that reward. If we get out of here before I before I die. If I touch the resurrection thing, does it heal me by any chance? No, it seems not to. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll just go forth and die and live again. Therion, these gliding worms appear relatively docile. Maybe you could hitch a ride on one. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Why wouldn't I want to touch that thing? Alright, when one comes by headed this way, we'll, oh, okay. Not on top of them. I like this even less than I liked the idea of standing on them. How did I manage to... I jumped and managed to miss the ground. It's almost impressive. Alright, well, there's definitely a gap in the ceiling that I would like to explore. Wonder if I can... No, the missiles won't curve around the platform. Oh, never mind. It's not a gap in the ceiling. It's just a gap in the pink goop that is on the ceiling. I will wait for another one to come by. There we go. Extra blood metal. Oh, that's not floor. Oh, God. Okay. Alright, so I guess we just wait for one of them to sweep down here. Ow! Oh shit, that's gonna kill me. Yeah, that caught me off guard a little bit. So the checkpoint's fairly generous, like, the checkpointing is fairly generous. If you don't want to have long runs, if you want to just put idols into every single checkpoint, it's... You do not ever have to run very far. Which is good, because sometimes these games can get pretty hard, and I don't know for sure that this one is going to, because I really haven't played that much of it. Although this is definitely feeling a little bit harder. I could really use another checkpoint. Where am I even going? This... Okay, I guess this is the way forward. Can I destroy the hive? Yeah, there we go. Ooh. That is an unlimited energy pickup, which makes me a little worried about what we're going to face in this room. But we're going to face it with our rocket launcher trigger held down. Do rocket launchers just have triggers? I don't know anything about how a rocket launcher works. I guess these have some level of guidance. They're missiles? It's a missile launcher? Maybe? Okay, that was pretty cool. New melee weapon. The Blood Axe. Well, we have to use the Blood Axe. We swung at high speed. It's called the Blood Axe because it is constantly bleeding. Is that high speed? I don't know that that's any faster than the sword was. Whatever, I'll take a Blood Axe. So apparently sometimes the side areas have different weapons in them. I don't know, man. I'm not going to say that I don't love a blood axe, but I do kind of like the profile that we cut with the giant flaming sword in one hand. We are not actually killing these things fast enough to not take damage. I guess the wolf light was probably the thing to use there. Oh, there's another... I missed a... What's the thing here? Is there another one? No. It did open. I don't know, man. He doesn't seem to be afraid of my blood axe. Oh, jeez. Also, he's aggressive. He attacks aggressively. Alright, I gotta not let these little dudes make such a fool. I will say one thing that I've had trouble with a couple of times already, on camera even, is sometimes it's hard to tell what's background art and what is an interactable environment object. Apparently it was very easy for me to miss these big pink glowing things. I don't think that these things really have that problem. I am prepared to take full responsibility on not seeing these. But like the vines up to the Blood Queen, Bloodstalker Queen, the Queen Bee. I thought those were, it was a little hard to tell that those were actually interactable. What am I doing? Why am I getting closer to it? Oh, I'm out of juice. This is breakable. Give me stuff. Yeah. Nope, and then I immediately panic and fire a bunch of missiles into a wall. Yeah, you really don't want to be close to him. I know I need the high ground. I'm working on it. There we go. Did that open? Oh, it probably opened the thing up there next to the receptor for the hive pheromone, yeah? As you can see, they're pretty generous with the new weapons. The Man-O-War incinerates its victims, very effective at destroying projectiles. Honestly, it doesn't seem like that's a thing we want to use alongside the wolf light, so to have similar applications. Maybe a melee weapon would be a good way of dealing with this. Absolutely resurrect. Kind of hoping that there would be more extra wolf spirits spawning here, so that they would go forth and destroy the hive while I just try to keep myself safe. It's not quite working out the way I'd hoped. Okay. I wonder if there's definitely no way to get up there. I wonder if this is a thing where I'm going to loop back around later in the level. I don't know what those things spawn, but I don't want to find... Ow! Okay, never mind. We found out. Graboids. They spawn graboids. This is the planet that the tremors are originally from. That's a little messy, but it worked. Ow. That's on me. I got tunnel vision on the objective. How do I safely... Hold shift, we can... I back up a little bit. I was assuming that I would not be able to shoot through the platform. Apparently that is not a safe assumption. You know what? At the risk of maybe being a little bit reckless here, I'm gonna not put in that resurrection item. Okay. I saw it in time. Everything's fine. Ow. Actually, this is a huge amount of problems. Everything is not... Many things are not fine. That might be a good spot to use a resurrection idol, actually. Not because the area between this this resurrection pedestal and that one is hard, but because the area after that one is hard. Alright, spawners... There we go. Yeah, we're definitely going to just put in an idol. I don't want to try to do... I don't want to have this run back for that next area, because I feel like we're going to die in that area a couple of times. Oh, right. I've already done this. Why am I acting like I don't know where? Okay. I really can't, just like, from moment to moment, it takes about 3 seconds for me to forget an area. All the more reason to use the resurrection pedestal. Okay. That's... I pressed down to aim down at him, but unfortunately it didn't quite have the effect I wanted. Ah. Yeah, the little enemies absorbing the flamethrower beam prevented me from breaking that bubble in time. Also, me not shooting at it fast enough. It played a part. It's really easy to walk too far forward and fall off of this thing. Climb too far forward. Break. There we go. Hold on. That looks like a different distance. That looks like a platform, right? That looks like a platform we could stand on. I bet there's something over there. Here we go. Just got to get the flamethrower beam enabled before you start pressing directions. Prevent yourself from climbing around too much. Nope, that might just be a background element, actually. Okay, everything's fine. It sure does look like yeah, there's definitely a platform up there. I wonder if that's a thing that we come down on from above. Oh, that seems like a place I don't want to go, he says while going there. In my defense, I did jump off of the worm in an attempt to avoid getting sucked in, but I forgot that when you jump, you go upward. Not really a good solution to the problem. Alright, that was a pretty clean version of that thing. Slowly but surely, we learn. I bet you all thought I was definitely going to run into the death area again. Because I definitely thought I was going to run into the death area again. Okay, this is just where you end up eventually. It's weird that they bring you so close to it. I'm going to go ahead and use an idol. I was really considering not doing it because I think at this point we could do that area. What if we just used the shield though? What if we just used the shield, though? I'm trying to get that just defend block to see if I can capture the projectiles instead of just bouncing them back. It is not working. Okay, so it does. You can in fact do that. I'm not very good at the timing, though. It actually is pretty tight. Probably. Partially because it's a thing you don't actually need to be doing. Actually, sure. Okay, we can climb up this wall probably. Let me just create an opening here. Go forth, wolf light. These things are pretty gross. I don't know if it's maybe just like the fact that they're stinging insects, and I have a thing about like bees. But for some reason, these enemies are more upsetting to me than the other ones. We might have been able to climb up there and find a secret, but also, like, do I want to spend any more time in that area, really? Okay, this is going to be a nightmare. I appreciate them giving me a health spawn here. Okay, actually, it looks like I might be able to reliably melee them if I'm just running through them in the right way as I do it. Out of blue stuff. I thought I would just jump over the projectile, but that dude really had my number. What do you call it? The checkpointing in this area is a little rough. You see the, every time you block a projectile with the shield, it spends some blue bar, and we ran out of blue bar. I guess based on the way the checkpointing here works, either the developers wanted a really hard sequence, or they don't feel that those hive guys are all that tough to fight, and I just need to like figure out what I'm doing wrong. Alright, I do love the wolf fight. I guess we can take a look here. Okay, no, never mind. That wall is not climbable. Let's grab this right away this time. Alright, if I shoot the wolf light at them from kind of nearby, they walk forward for the melee attack, and we can maybe just like dodge out of the way. Oh god, it's a lot of projectiles. I do so wish that I had a double jump. They get into a situation like that where I've committed my single jump. And the correct solution to that problem is, hey, don't jump when you're not actually dodging anything by jumping. But come on, give me a break here. Sure, I could get better, but what if you just came down and met me down here? Oh lord. What an embarrassing death. Alright, we're gonna give that one more try, and then maybe we'll call it. I think probably y'all get the idea here. This game is super cool. Hey, look at that, I successfully captured his projectile and used it against him. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Almost a little bit. Ow. Run away. You know, I'm being too precious about my super gun ammo. Let's just employ missiles. Let us make a path. It's not even that hard, really, to get missiles back here, because these guys have to melee us to hit us. I thought I was going to be able to skip the second set of vines. Okay, that'll do. Just run. Never mind. That will not do. Okay, I know I said one more try, but I meant one more try of the room with the hive guys in it. Obviously, we got to get there. Otherwise, I'm going to be very embarrassed. That was a pretty good version of that thing. Don't be shy about rockets. Now listen, there's no use dying with a bunch of blue bar, right? May as well spend it. Okay, this is promising. This is the best we've ever looked coming into this. Okay, there we go. That's a good start. Kill one of them, like, right away. There it is. Okay, so we have a blood metal. We have some hive pheromone. I bet our character smells terrible right now. Yes, we should definitely use an idol, even though we don't really need the health boost. Let's push on a little bit. There's got to be another boss somewhere. Here we go. This is something. Well, 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 Therion, eminent spawn of the traitorous King Vral, you have returned. I don't know you, Toad. Toad, how dare you? I am a blessed being, incubator of precious life. You will witness, and you will suffer. You are mad. Time to die. I feel like he probably just says that to everyone he meets. Okay, this is not one of those platforms you reach. Ow. Okay, don't let him do that to you. Actually, that didn't really do that much damage for how impressive it looked. Okay, also, he does a lot of damage when he jumps on you, so don't let that happen. Well, you know what? Maybe this is an okay place to call it. This is Valfaris. It is on Steam. I'm going to look at the Steam store page real quick here. So unfortunately, we'll drop the metal music out. It is $18.74 right now, and if you like these like Contra-style platformy shooters, I think this is totally worth that money. It rules. Thank y'all for watching.